The first draft.
No, this V model, can we start from that block diagram part?
Okay. Okay. What? Where's the pain area and which topic? Shall I explain it again?
Yeah, can you explain it once again? Because
Okay.
it's like totally different. When I searched it, it's like it's a little bit confusing.
Okay. Let me know if at any point you have any confusion. So
Okay.
it is again a different model of software development life cycle. As you can see, it is in the form of V. The first line of V, that is the verification phase, and the second line of V, that is the validation phase. And this particular joining point is where we do the coding. So if you remember the waterfall cycle, requirement analysis, design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance, these were the phases, right? So in the similar manner, in this verification phase, we have two phases. The first one is requirement analysis and design. Okay, so like here we have business requirement and system requirement. So in the same manner where we had the requirement analysis phase in the software waterfall model, these two steps will have the same functionality. Here we will do all the requirement analysis with respect to the business, that is the customer, and what are to fulfill that requirement, what will be the system requirement that we need to plan. So let's say customer came to us to with a request that they want to build a e-commerce website. So for that e-commerce, what will be the system requirement? The first one will be the laptops and everything that you need to start developing any project. So system requirement will all have system like laptops, machine, internet. If there is a VPN required, then VPN. All the tools that are needed in the software development and testing, we will plan that. We will gather all the information. Later, we have the system design. Sorry, the design phase that is similar to this one. Here we will do high level design and low level design. So high level design, let me just take you there. Where it goes. Okay. So high level design, I think we had covered that high level there, isn't it?
So we covered this actually. This
Okay.
V level, sorry, V model we covered, but
No,
still
no, no,
I
no, no.
think about
In
it.
high level design and low level design, I think we
Yeah,
had.
that one we covered.
Okay. So in high level design, what we do, we create a framework. We give a architecture to our project. Based on that, development team will start working. Okay. And in the low level design, we make some prototype. It is again a design in which we will decide what 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 will be the language that we are going to use, what will be the uh, interlinking framework that we are going to choose, and following that we will move to the coding phase, that is nothing but the development phase. So the only difference is it is going in a downward staircase model, and here it is
V
going
model.
in a V model. So we will see, don't worry. Here coding will be done, and in the validation phase testing will be done. Just for now, just remember only this thing. In verification phase, that is the first half of V. In this particular phase, we will do the verification. And what is verification? We will see. Here we will do business requirements. We gather everything and put it in a form of any document to keep it handy, to keep it in the records. And in validation phase, we do the actual testing. So verification is also called as a testing. we'll see in a while. So verification, this is the actual definition that you can remember, but in real life, you can analyze it as. Give me a moment. Hmm. It is a kind of static testing verification phase. So here we just verify the documents that has been created. Okay. So whenever anyone asks what is verification or what is static testing, you need to say it is a kind of testing uh, in which we just verify the documents that has been created in those requirements analysis phase and the design phase. So those verification are done by these three steps. The first one is walkthrough, the second one is review, and the third one is inspection. So I hope these keywords are. I mean, you are aware of these keywords.
Yeah,
Walkthrough means just giving the overview. Like if you have a notebook and you are opening it and you are just going through it. What are the topics that has been covered, right? Review means uh, to go and read it thoroughly, and inspection means to review it in certain form that you need to identify what is missing, if there is something needs to be rectified or not. So three steps involved in verification phase, right? First one is walkthrough, second was in review and inspection. In inspection, what do? We review the whole document with a mindset that we have to rectify the missing part, rectify the any if there is anything wrong, and add if there is anything missing. So these three are the techniques in which we do verification, which is also called static testing. And in validation, it is also called dynamic testing. Here we actually do the testing with the by using multiple set of data and compare. Like in testing we always compare the actual result and the expected result. So that is in the validation phase we will do the same. Okay. So here you can go through it. It's the static analysis, that is again the static testing done by done without executing code. So basically here what we do, business higher management will gather the requirements, business requirement and the system requirement, and we will document it. Okay, this is just for knowledge. Actual tester works come in this validation phase only. So in verification, no work of tester is involved. It is done by the higher management, QA manager, development manager, then business analyst. So those people will be involved in these things. So what they will do, they will gather everything. Just for understanding, I will say they will take all the information from the customer, write it in a notebook, and then by after that they get it reviewed amongst them and the customer. If customer says that this is missing, they will add it. So verification of documents has been done in this particular verification phase, right? In the same manner, framework will be designed and documented. Again, it will be reviewed among themselves and with the customer. If customer says that some addition is required, then we will add it. So at the same time, we are doing testing of the documents. So that's what static testing is. And here, customer involvement in validation phase, customer involvement will be not there. You just have to refer the documents and proceed further. Whatever written in the document, whatever written in my notebook, following that, I have to perform the testing. That's it. And in the coding phase, developer will develop the project. Okay. Hope it is clear. No. Right now, no one is going to use it. Only a few companies which have certain projects in which they will use it. Okay. So the main advantage of this particular, give me a moment, V model is it is very easy to understand. Once the documents are verified, testing team and the development team will follow that, and accordingly they will do their work. Okay. Testing methods like planning, test design happens well before coding. So whatever, where it is, whatever planning that we are going to do will be done in a high level. Whatever planning that we have done for testing and development will be done in these two phases only: high level design and low level design. Like we create a framework of following which we will develop and test. So this will take save a lot of time, hence higher chances of success over waterfall method, right? So we are doing kind of testing from the initial phase. From here only we are doing the verification, so the success rate will be more than waterfall model. Now it avoids the download flow of defects. Like in the water flow, everything was downwards. So it is, if there is any fault here only in the requirement and verification phase, we will fix that only. It is not like in waterfall model. If we found that something is wrong in the requirement, then we have to again start from the beginning, because we are not checking it here. We are not verifying these requirements and design, but here we are verifying it. So everything will be fixed then and there only. Okay.
Okay.
Works well with small plans, small projects. It is not plan, it is projects, where requirements are easily understood. Small project, small requirement, everything is clear, then we will follow it. Okay. So disadvantage is it is very rigid and least flexible. So let's say customer comes at this particular point in the unit testing phase or in the coding phase that they want a new feature to be added. Then in that case, we cannot accommodate it. We will just say that it is not possible. We have already invested so much time. We have already built our reference document, and it is not adjustable. Then we will not consider his customer's request, and we will proceed further. So that is the disadvantage. It is not allow frequent changes in the project. Again, it is not good for complex project in which requirements keep changing. Okay. Software developed during the implementation stage. So no early prototype of software are developed. So here you can see it is directly sent into the coding phase after making all the design. So there is no prototype to show the customer. Prototype means a dummy project that you show the customer that this is how your project will look like. So when you talk about prototype, so I have made this particular page and I have not added any further functionality here. So if that's well, that is just to show you that your front page, your login page will be looking like this only. So that is a prototype. Nothing will be functional. It's just a dummy to show it to your customer. Okay. Like in civil engineering, we make a document, right? And we make small prototype of buildings just to show the customer that this is how your rooms and building structure will look like. So same thing will be here. Okay. Then the next one is if changes happen in the midway, the test document along with the requires document has to be updated. So again, we have to go back and do the changes, update the documents accordingly. After that, we will do the changes. Okay. So we have already covered static testing. What are these? Verification, review, and inspection. Then we have dynamic testing that is done in the validation phase. So we are done with V model. So this is just for interview. These three, this particular last page is very important, especially these two, what is validation and verification. They will get, any interviewer will 100% ask you these questions. What is walkthrough, review, and inspection? Next, we have iterative and incremental development model. So here what happens? We let's say customer comes with a requirement. Then after studying all the requirements, we will divide the whole project into some pieces, right? And for those pieces, we will do a separate design and development, and those pieces will be separately tested, and later they will implement it. Implemented means they will merge. They will be merged. These two, these like here the requirements has been divided into three pieces. All the pieces will be designed and developed individually, and at the end, all will be merged to form a whole project. Okay, for the example, here it is. Let's say I have to build this particular Orange HRM. I have three modules: admin, PIM, and leave. So admin module will be developed, designed, and tested by a different group of people from the team, and PIM module will be assigned to a different set of people, design team and testing team, and leave module will be assigned to a different set of people. So all will work together, and at the end they will just merge it. So this is iterative and incremental. So let's read it out. Incremental model is a process of software development where requirements are divided into multiple standalone modules. Uh, in each module, in this module, each module goes through requirement analysis, design, implementation, and testing phase. Every subsequent release of the module add function to the previous release. Let's say uh, for this particular point only, I customer comes that in this particular build one module, I need to add a new functionality. Like here, when it is used, so it will be used when we have a lengthy development schedule. We have to cover a lot of modules. When software team are not very skilled, so it is always recommended when there is the team is a fresher, then we should follow iterative and incremental approach. When the customer demands needs a quick release, let's say a customer comes to us and they need the whole project in 1 month, then we will divide the project in several parts, and simultaneously we will work, and at the end we will just merge every module. Okay,
Okay.
so you can develop prioritize requirement first. So here, as we see, user management has the priority one, so we will pick this one. And if corporate branding has the priority one, then it will be added in the first iteration. And which subsection will have the least priority, let's say configuration, will be added in the last one. That will be in the iteration 4, for example. Okay. So advantages
Okay.
are errors are easy to be recognized. So like we have divided the chunk into multiple whole project into multiple chunks. Then we can easily identify what is wrong in which particular module, right? In which particular iteration, what was wrong, so that errors will be less. It is easier to test and debug again. the same thing. More feasible. It is more feasible comparatively to waterfall and V model. Simple to manage risk because it handled during the iteration. So all the risks that are there for with this particular module will be handled here, tested here. Again, this the next mod in next iteration, if there is a risk that is associated with these two modules, will be terminated here only. And at the end, we expect a module which have less no risk or no risk that is potentially very severe. Okay, so as we picked uh, the modules priority wise, so the important functionality will be delivered at the early time only. Like what we saw, user management was needs to be created first, so it will be
Yes.
delivered first, right? Okay. So disadvantage of incremental model is need a good planning. So if I do this particular planning in a bad manner, then it is not going to help. In fact, if I do bad planning, I merge the whole project, the whole project might fail due to just bad planning only. The cost is very high since there are multiple teams working simultaneously on separate module. There will be more people assigned to the same project, right? So it is going to cost us more people, more systems, more tools, more licenses of using those tools will be required. So it will cost very high to the company. Well defined module interfaces are needed. Again, if you're working on any module, it should be well defined. You cannot test if the module is have a bad design. You cannot develop even if this particular module in iteration one is designed in not a proper way. You cannot develop and test. So it should be properly designed.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Any question?
No,
Okay,
it's clear.
great. So the next one is agile model. I'm not sure whether it is included in your ISTQB examination or not, because it is not part of the syllabus that has been shared by the ACTE guys. But again, it is very important in terms of interview in the present market. So I have added it, the agile model. So here, as you can see, it goes in a round matter, in a circle matter, right? So the same phases are there: design, brainstorm, which is nothing but requirement analysis. Then we have design, then development, then quality assurance, that is testing, and at the end, deployment. So what happens is these phases keeps going on in a circle in agile model, right? So here, as you can see, in we have like we gather any particular information, we document it, we develop it, and here while we develop it, we will have testing started. So here, when once the development starts, testing starts. So here it goes in a iterations. We will see after each iteration is complete, we just demo it to the customer and get the valuable feedback so that according to the customer we can adjust it then and there only. Okay. Simultaneously, the same thing will be done. Don't write it down. I will. It is self-explanatory in this sheet, so it will be very easy to understand. Like you can write it down when you will revise the videos. Okay. So testing will be done simultaneously with the development. Again, it will be done in iterations. We will demo how we performed the testing and get the feedback. So feedback here is the main thing. Once we get the feedback, like we act then and there only. Like when we developed any particular module and we demo it to the customer, and customer gave us some feedback to add it, then we will add it then and there only, or in the next release, depending upon the priority. If it is very severe, then we will add it then and there only. Again, the deployment after testing, there will be deployment. So this is a agile model. So this you would need to remember this particular design. First is brainstorm, that is the requirement analysis, design, development, testing, and deployment. Now, here is the another diagram. So here you can see everything is going in a circle, and here we have iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3. So it is a advanced, like here we are doing iteration and incremental simultaneously. So it can be called as advanced iteration and incremental model. So let's see in a detail. So in any interview question, any interview, you this particular agile model will be asked, and everyone in the present market expect the employee to know what is agile is. Okay, so agile is like, this is the definition. The points that I have written here is everything. If you're writing it, I will not suggest you to write in your own word. If you're going for interview, just go with this content only.
Definitely.
Yeah. So if they ask what is agile, agile is a most, I mean, it's more organized method of software development and testing. In agile, the tasks are divided into time boxes, that is called sprints. Sprint is nothing the small time duration. So if you have seen here, we have mentioned time duration 2 to 3 months. So depend, it is not regarding like always 2 to 3 months, depending upon the scenario that particular module has. It can be vary from 2 weeks to even 3 months. So depending upon the complexity and scenarios, how many steps are there, the sprint time will be decided. Okay, so in agile, tasks are divided into sprints to deliver specific feature for a release based on a priority. So here release means like the circle complete, we will release it. We will have something that we can show it to customer. Okay, then it as you can see here, we have iterative approach. So iterative approach is taken, and working software is built and delivered after each iteration. So once the circle completes, we will deliver the completed module. Each build is incremental in terms of feature. So we will design it in such pattern that if anything added, any feature needs to be added in this particular build, we can add it in the next iteration, like we did it in the previous model. Okay. The final builds hold the all features required by the customer. Similarly, they will have iterations, and in the final iteration, it will have customer will have all the features. It is very adaptive in nature as it allows changes even during the development of application. So here, as you can see, requirement analysis is done in each and every iteration. So what we can do, we can what customer can do, customer can pitch to add any new feature anytime, right? So and it can handle changes, it can accommodate any changes anytime throughout the development process. Okay, So, in Agile, customer involvement is there since the beginning and throughout the life cycle. It will be at the end until the project is complete. So, here we proceed further with iterative feedbacks and achieve continuous improvement. So, if you're giving any interview, you must use these two keywords: iterative feedback and continuous improvement. So, iterative feedback means, like here in the first diagram, we had a feedback in for each development and testing phase, and it will be done in this iteration form. So, that is nothing but iterative feedbacks. For all the iterations, we will take feedback from the customer and make continuous improvement. So if anything required, we will add it and we will create value to the customer. So we are agreeing, we are adding, we are not denying any request of customer. That means we are creating value. That means we are valuing our customer. So that is again a very important principle of agile, to create value. Like in model or V model, we will deny that we cannot accommodate any change. But here we are accommodating, we are taking feedback, we are achieving continuous improvement, and simultaneously with all these efforts, we are creating value. Okay. So
Okay.
in Agile, we have two main this is two key stakeholders. Stakeholders means uh, anyone who is responsible for the building and what is being made. So here we have Scrum or Scrum Master. So if any interviewer asks you, do you know Scrum model? So he means to say that you need to explain the agile only. So Scrum Master is a person uh, who is responsible for the whole development and everything that is happening in the project. He is responsible for that. So basically, he is the one who coordinates between all teams involved in the life cycle, like development team, customer, product owner, test team, and other teams also. So he is the one uh, who will be coordinating,
Working
and
with all the teams.
yeah, and he or she will be assigning the tasks. So let's say he has some people in like business analyst, so he will assign business analyst to take the requirement from the customer. Once requirements are there, he will uh once requirement and design are completed, he will assign the task to the development manager, development lead, s- to develop the project. So that once the task has been assigned to development lead or the development manager, he or she will pass it to the developers, and then the whole development will begin. So the task assigned is mainly done by Scrum Master, whether it is development team or testing team. Scrum Master will assign all the testing tasks to the QA manager, and QA manager further he or she will cascade the task to the testers to perform testing. The next one is product owner. So he is the one who tell us what is needed. So the next key stakeholder is product owner. So he will be from customer side. Customer will assign this particular person to work and supervise the development. He is the one who takes our customers' orders. He will tell us what is needed to be built, or we can say what to build. So he is the one who will guide us, who will tell us, who will order us, not order. Basically, he will wish and we have to fulfill it. Okay. So in Agile, we have different types of meetings, which is also called ceremonies. So these are scheduled by Scrum Masters. So the first one is sprint planning. So this is done in the beginning of every sprint. Sprint means like this iteration, the time that is allotted to fulfill any module. Iteration one, you can say. So like here in iteration, we divided the whole project, right, in several modules. Here, what we do after doing the planning, that this particular project will take 2 years, and it will have, let's say, 20 functionalities, right? No, 24 functionalities. Then in that case, I will assign a time. I will divide the 24 months with respect to the features or the functionality. So we have 24 functionality. So for one functionality, I will divide the whole time to 1 month, like 24 functionality, 1 month for each functionality. So this is the sprint. So in the beginning of sprint or the time duration, we will have sprint planning meeting. So here we will decide and make a plan for the whole sprint or the full whole time period, like what we need to do and how will we are going to achieve it. Okay, after the sprint planning we will start working, and when we will start working we will have daily stand-ups. So daily stand-up meetings are done on a daily basis or weekly, depending upon the project. So the main agenda of this particular meeting is to get progress status of each and every individual. So here the team members will share that what they have done yesterday and what they are going to do today. So discuss. So mainly, if I'm the manager or the scrum, you will be join. You will join the daily stand up, and your work is to say that you have done this particular mod. You have worked on this particular module yesterday, and if that particular module there are some functionality left, so you will say like I have done on, let's say, daily stand up works. Then we have sprint retrospective. So here sprint retrospective is done when sprint is complete. This meeting is done to discuss what we have achieved, what we have missed, what we should have done better in case we have missed anything. So basically we keep our focus on the process and its refinement. Okay, so if the process that we have followed everything is achieved, then we are good to go. If we have missed anything, then we will see what we have missed and what we have done better in order to not miss it. That then we will talk about the process and its refinement. Then we have sprint review. It is mostly similar to the sprint retrospective, but here we mainly focus on the product we have built and tested. Okay, so main difference is sprint in retrospective we review the process. In sprint review we focus on the build or the product that we have built and tested. Okay,
Okay.
so the advantages are, there are many advantages. Frequent delivery, small modules we can deliver. Face to face of communication with the clients.
Yes.
The involvement is throughout the project. Efficient design and fulfills the business requirement. Anytime any changes can be accommodated. It reduces the total development time. Like everything is done simultaneously. The modules are developed early based on priority. So the development time reduces. Simultaneously, we are also making the changes and testing. So the whole development time is reduced. Any question? Okay. Disadvantage is the only thing. An overall plan. Okay. An agile leader and the project manager. Give me a moment. You're getting the sound, notification sound? Okay. Okay. An overall plan, an agile leader and agile project manager practice must, what I have written. This has WhatsApp notification has
Project manager.
distracted me.
Leader is a must for this thing, I think, without which it will not work. Like team head, son.
Okay. So without plan, without any particular plan, without any, give me a moment. There are lots of distraction here. Okay, sorry. An overall plan, an agile leader and agile project manager practices must. Okay. So the overall plan should be made in the beginning, and agile leader like the scrum master and project manager will be different from product owner. So who will be heading the whole project from the company side? So they must follow. Without it, without the actual plan, following the actual plan, the agile will not work. So it should be planned and followed. Like if I plan to include any particular module in iteration one, I should stick with my plan. Okay. Strict delivery management dictates the scope, functionality to be delivered, and adjustment to meet the deadlines. So everything is very strict here. If the time is allotted, you should complete the build in that time only. Okay, and if that, like, customer involvement is there in each sprint review, customer will be there. So once, like I said, I will deliver it on 20th of October, but if I say it that it is not complete without any actual reason, then it is not acceptable. That's why it is very strict. Depends heavily on customer interaction. So if customer or product owner is not clear what they need, then it can guide us into a wrong direction. We can build a wrong product. Okay. So this is all
Okay.
about agile, and it is very important in terms of interviews.
Okay.
Okay. So we are out of time. Tomorrow we will see testing within life cycle model. That is nothing but the software testing life cycle. We'll start from here. Any question?
No, it's clear.
Great. Focus more on if you're planning for interviews. Focus more on agile methodology.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways, if you have if you are asked to explain all the other modules, you have to do that. Okay. If we don't have any question, we will stop it here.
If it is like if it is like easy project, like money is like very constructed.
No. You
Uh,
should not. You should not talk
constructed.
about these things.
Okay.
You should just be specific. What is being done in design phase. So here we create basically SRS document, detailed
What kind of software we're
design
going to use?
document,
And,
which defines the software architecture. Basically, we decide everything about the project, which is what should be the architecture, what should be the framework, what are the tools, how many resources, everything we decide in this particular design phase only. So basically, the two keywords should be there. The first one is SRS document. If you are not using SRS document, then you should mention detailed design document that that tell us about this. architecture that is going to be followed. So basically, we design an architecture with all other details. What should be the framework? How many resources will be required? Each and everything about a project is decided here. So these two keywords should be there in your answer. Detailed document, software
Software
architecture.
architecture.
If you're not using detailed document, you must to use SRS document, which means software specification. Yeah, software requirement specification. Okay. So question will be there in your interview if you go as manual tester or be it manual or automation. If you're going as a tester in any interview, questions will be there. Okay, what is unit testing?
Unit testing, like code by code, we have to test, like unit,
Yeah.
smallest code also we have to test.
Who will do it?
Unit testing can be done by testers as well as developers. Like developers, if they have the time, they are assisted with the tester, they can do side by side. If the project is very big and they have to be time consuming like that, they will do testing side by side and complete it.
So it is mainly done by developers, but it
Developers,
is also done by the testers.
testers, fine.
Okay. Okay, then let's move ahead. The next model, that is the V model. So as you can see, it is in the V formats. That's why it's the name is given as V model. In addition to that, V model stands for verification and validation model. So here you can see there are two life cycles. The first life cycle that is here in the left hand is the developer's life cycle. Is termed as developer's life cycle, but it is not developer's life cycle. It is just you can ignore these two terminologies.
Is
Just
it
like
audible?
yes,
Is it normally? Hello.
yeah.
Uh,
Am I audible?
now I can hear you. Now I can hear.
Okay. So this stands for verification and validation model. So here you can see you can ignore these keywords developers life cycle and testers life cycle. It is just written in the picture. So basically here we have verification phase on the left side and here we have the validation phase. So here in V model in verification phase we will just verify everything. So then as we have seen what happens in the business requirement specification. So basically it is part of planning phase in the SDLC. Then this is the designing phase, and here the development phase. Then we have this testing phase. So I know it is a bit confusing, but you just need to understand. Let me just show you in a better way. So this is planning phase that we have seen in SDLC. The second one is done in design. Okay, it is not in design. It is in defining. Then third one is the design. These two. This will be come under design phase of SDLC. And the coding will be in the fourth phase, that is development. And after that, each and everything that is mentioned in the validation phase will be in testing. And later, after acceptance testing, so from here, from acceptance testing and system testing, there will be a overlap of, so it's system integration testing. So basically, it is a deployment. We integrate everything and see it is working fine or not. So it will be come in both of the phases. So it will come in both of phases, testing as well as deployment. And user acceptance testing will be also in both of the phases, that is in the deployment and in the real release phase. So acceptance testing will be done by the testers, and it will be done by the customers also, to understand whether it is as per the requirement user friendly or not. So this is how different phases of SDLC is there hid in the hidden format in terms of V model. Okay, I know it is a bit confusing. It is generally not used in the market. So these models that we have seen are not being used in the market. Only model that is there in the market on which is widely used is the agile model. But in the interview question, they will ask you everything. So that's why we need to learn. So here, let's go by the definitions. So what is verification means? So it involves static analysis, or which also means review. So in verification phase, we do a review without any execution. So here, if like here we have seen in SDLC, planning is done, then SRS document is created, then architecture is created. So we will verify each and everything. So this particular phase, the main involvement will be of upper management, like they are involved in SRS document creation, planning, and architecture design. So mainly they will be involved here, and after that they will do a verification whether each and every document is created properly or not. So all the documents will be verified thoroughly, before proceeding further. And in the validation phase, it involves dynamic analysis, which means functional and non-functional testing. So which is done by executing the code. So after development is done in this particular phase, validation phase will start. So here mainly testing will be done. Validation is a process to classify the software after the completion of development process to determine whether the software meets the customer expectation or not. So these two, uh, as per the interview and examination concern, these two verification of validation and verification are very important. It will be asked in any interview question. What is the difference between verification and validation in terms of V model? So in verification, what we do a thorough review without any execution of code. Basically, we review and verify all the documents that has been created in each phase, all the design, all if there is any architecture that has been designed, we will verify it. And in validation, we will execute the code, execute the development field shared by the development team, and we will test it. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what are the phases of V model. So first we have business requirement analysis, which means the same. We understand the requirement of the customer and what is the expectation. So here we will verify whether the document that we have created is fulfilling the requirement or not, right? Then we will create system design. Here, as we can see, there are two level of design. The first one is high level and the second one is low level. So here what is done? So basically, here we create a document in which we define the architecture. So we talk about what are the functionality of each and every module, what are the relationship between, if there is any database that is going to be used in the project, what kind of relational database that is required that we will use, what are the technologies that we are going to use. Basically, as we talked about the architecture and framework, Java and Python thing. So mainly those things will be defined and verified in the architectural design or the high level design phase. So if you get any question what is architectural design in V model, they need to ask high level design. Okay. Any question, any confusion? Am I audible?
Yes, 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 you're audible.
Any question?
No, right now, no.
Okay. Then we have module design. So here all the requirements. This one. Yeah. So all the requirements that we have in specified in the SRS document, depending upon the architectural design, we will divide those architecture in terms of modules. So modules means, like we saw, admin module and other modules in the case of Orange HRM. So different blocks of our project. So first in architectural design, in high level design, this architecture will be uh, designed, and after that, in the low level design, there will be dashboard module, admin module. So design of a particular module will be created by those uh, by the business analyst and other teams, and depending upon that, a detailed document will be created and verified for dashboard module and admin module, and then it will be passed to the development team. Hope you are clear with this high level and low level design.
Yes, yes.
So high level design will have a architecture for whole project, and low level design will have a architecture for any
Module.
module wise. So basically we churn the whole project in small pieces that we call module, and in low level design we define there, we define the architecture for each and every module. Okay. Okay, I think I missed something. Okay, so this is an extra thing that I forgot to delete. After that, we have the coding phase. That is nothing but this particular phase where we write the code, where the developer write the code, right? Then after that, we have integration testing. So here there are test plans that are developed by the architect. So test plan will be developed here only in the design phase. Like in the first lesson we covered that planning will be done. So after that, a plan test document will be created, and inside that there will be a specific plan for testing. So integration testing will have those plan that they need to refer to perform the further testing. So let's read out. Integrated integration test plan are developed during the architectural design phase. These tests verify that verify that the groups created and tested independently can coexist and communicate among themselves. So this is again a very interesting thing. Integration. So what integration means? To connect, right? So if you talk about Mintra, or what is the in e-commerce website that you use on a daily basis? Amazon. Is there? Okay. So in Amazon, you will find certain payment gateway, right? So there will be card payment, there will be payment through phone wallet, phone pay, Google Pay, and all. So those they will check here depending upon the architecture. Like architecture will be designed that this particular uh, Amazon project will be interacting with the payment gateway of phone Google Pay, let's say. So here that particular testing will be done as per the test plan that is created in this particular phase, right? So here, as we see, we create a SRS document and we defined everything that is going to be done inside a project. So there will be an SRS document and the design phase. There will be different plans for development team, for testing team, and for the maintenance team. So we have to refer that the plan that has been created for the testing team. So that was test plan means. So if you want a thorough, this is okay. This is also an interview question. What is test plan? We'll see in coming session when we'll see types of testing. For now, if it is there, let me just show you. So the test plan is a detailed document, describes how testing and how test what are the testing area that needs to be covered and how the testing will be done. Okay, so this is you can refer it. Just paste it in the chat box. You can refer it for a better understanding of test plan. Okay, so basically it is a testing the document that testing team needs to refer in order to see how testing should be done. Okay, and what should be the, let's say, deadline, what should be the how many resources should be there. So depending upon the that particular document, hiring will be done for testing team. The same plan will be for development team. According to that, things will be done at their end. Okay, so integration testing will be done. Then system testing will be done. Then similarly, as there is a separate test plan for integration, uh, there will be separate plan for system testing. So whatever testing that is required in your project, those kind of testing will have a separate section in plan document, test plan document. So here, system test plan are developed during system design phase. Unlike unit testing and integration testing, system test plans are composed by the client business team. System test ensures the expectation from an actual developer are met or not. So this is specified by basically all the requirements that is the client need from the product from the system. They will mention it in the system plan and how testing should be done basically, and whether here in the system testing we will check the expectations, what is whether development team have developed our project as per the expectation of the customer or not. So referring that particular plan, we will perform system testing. Don't worry if it is if this particular definition is not clear, we will I will share a particular definition for you with you when we will see different types of testing. Then we have acceptance testing. Basically, we see here whether it is compatible with the user or not. It is use. So there will be a different environment, right? We have seen SIT, staging, UAT. So this acceptance testing will be done in UAT only. Okay. So basically, it is stands for user acceptance testing. Basically, we test whether the actual user will be compatible with the build that we have provided or not. Okay.